Alright, I'm trying to go through some video here this morning. I thought I'd take you along and show you what I'm trying to look at when I'm trying to break down a pass at the track. So this is a 10 flat pass, 10-12 at 133 miles an hour. So basically what we're doing, we're trying to build a new car. This is the old car. This is a pan car. This car weighs 1,740 pounds with me in it. 130 60 foots, pretty much normal for this setup and this car, but it has some inherent problems that we're trying to solve, and we're going to look at a couple of the issues that we're having and trying not to pass these issues on to the new car. So we're going to dissect this run a little bit and take a look at it and make some changes accordingly. So we're getting ready to leave the starting line here. You can see the trees coming down. I have the tree in sight over here. I'm going to go ahead and just try to hit this frame by frame and pause it so we can look at the video. We're going to look for the initial hit of the clutch here. So the clutch is out. The clutch is the release bearings moving away from the pressure point at this point. I run a clutch management system in my car. It's a CO2 setup, which I don't use the CO2 bottle anymore. Basically, it's designed to hold the clutch on the floor, and you leave off the top bulb there and hold the pedal to the floor, the gas pedal. It's got a two-step setup, and you can drive the car like that. It pretty much leaves the starting line automatic if you want. I like to leave with none of the electronics, just off the clutch pedal, and that's how we're driving the car today. So you can see the car is already starting to leave the starting line. The front tire's on the way up off the pavement. The back tire's got a little wrinkle in it there. The suspension's starting to move downward in the back. The front's starting to travel up. And the light's still not green, so we still have a yellow light. And this is going to be a green light pass, so you just nailed the tree here. This is an 0.25 on the light, which is 0.02 away from perfect. So let's see if we can catch the next frame here. You can see the light's green now. The front tire's continuing to, we just missed the problem here, which I'm trying to fix. The car actually is already set. So right here you can see here's the problem we're trying to fix. The car's fully at the bottom of the suspension here. It's wadding the back tire, not collapsing the tire because the air pressure is correct in the tire, but you can see the spring plates are deflected at this point. So we're dragging the back half of the car. You can see the sump on the ground. You can see the exhaust pipe dragging on the ground. So definitely don't have enough rear torsion to handle the power the car's making at this point. But this is pretty impressive. The car's pretty much on a leave. It's moving off the starting line, and the tree's still not green yet. It's still yellow. Now I want you to watch the motion of the car here. I'm going to let this run for a minute. You can notice the car has already hit the sump. So that is our limit. The sump is the limit. The car is as low as it can possibly be with this motor and sump combination. We need more spring in the car, more torsion bar. What's happening here is now the car's moved all the way. It's hit the ground, and you're going to notice the car unload the rear suspension. And I want to say it's like a porpoise. You'll notice the car unload the rear suspension, set the wheel back down, and then set the suspension again. So let's watch that happen. See the car come back up in the rear now. Our sump's not hitting the ground. The tailpipe's not hitting the ground. We're still making power. We're still trying to peel the back tires off here. You can see they're both pointing outwards. The torque of the motor is trying to rip the tires off the car, or the wheels. Basically pushing them back in the fenders. So you can see that the car has hit the ground, it's unloaded the suspension, and it's on its way to replanting the tire now. You can see here that we're getting out to the 60-foot cone, the light's green. It's starting to put the power down. The car is dragging the sump again. It's dragging the exhaust pipe, and the back wheels are tucked way back in the fenders, man. They're moved way back. I would think that if you measured the front of the tire in relationship to the fender, it would be pretty dramatic. I don't have the side shot of the car. I just have from the back view here, but you can see if you pause the video, the relationship of the tire to the fender. It's very distorted on both sides of the car. Now, I do believe this is with a 15x8 slick. So this problem got even aggravated more when I went to a bigger tire. I had to go to a 9-inch slick, and it really aggravated the situation. So we're gonna unfreeze the video here. You can see the car is still set really good. Those Ron Loomis shocks are working really well. They're keeping the car planted even with all the bad stuff that's going on. The shock is working properly. It's not unloading. It's holding the car to the track. And as the car progresses down the track and makes the 1-2 gear change, you're going to see that the shocks work very well, just like they're supposed to do. The car will start to rise up in the back, and the front of the car will start tucking down towards the finish line. So here we go. That's the 1-2 shift. We're dragging the sump again. It's burying the tire. It wants to do a wheel stand, but it can't because it's on the sump. And that's keeping the car from flipping over backwards, you know. No wheelie bars required when you don't have the proper travel in the car. The sump is the limiting travel on this setup. So we're going to go out there. We're in the second gear, putting the power down. You can see some black marks behind the car there if you look really close. And it's definitely got the wheel speed going on. It's spinning the tire and putting the power down because it's got enough torque where it's pulling the back of the car down. You'll notice now that there's a little air between the sump and the exhaust pipe, and now the shocks they're releasing, and they're letting the car drive down the track. They're working on the rebound of the shock right now. The rest of this pass is pretty tame. All the drama is gone. Normally you deal with a lot of drama at the top end of the track. The setup on the car is really good there. The problem I'm having is leaving the starting line. I don't have the proper torsion set up yet. It's too soft in the back. I probably need to update the shock. I have the first evolution of the Ron Loomis shocks. They're single adjustable. So they have much better stuff out there now. I'm just a little poor, so I work with what I have. So we're definitely going to have to tighten the back of the car up. I expect the new car probably to be a little heavier. So this problem is only going to be magnified if I put the same setup in the next car. So we're going to go down there. Everything's pretty much drama free except when I went to stop the car with the drum brakes. So that's let me get the well, you're not going to be able to see because my buddy with the camera is really excited. But anyway, 10-12 at 133 miles an hour. That's a pretty good pass, you know, not too bad. This video is I hate to tell you this, but this video is 10 years old. It has been a while. I have raced the car since then. I went to Drag Night 2013. We qualified number 3, and the event rained out. And I haven't raced the car since. You know, I have kids. I don't have a lot of money, so when I race this car, it's like it takes everything I have. You know, it's a strain. But I love this. This is the thing I love the most, is to drive this car and, you know, build the motor, play with the motor, make power. Now, I've showed all you guys the parts for this motor, and most of you guys just don't believe it. You know, the car's this fast. There's no trick parts on this. Everything on this car is off-the-shelf stuff. No valve reliefs in the pistons, no squish area between the piston and the cylinder head. I think this motor has probably 200 thousandths deck height. No compression until it's on boost, obviously, but really good combination. The motor is very strong. My problem has always been transmissions, and you know, Obviously, if you had to go a bunch of rounds, this combination probably wouldn't be very good. I'm running it pretty hard to make it go this fast. That's why a lot of guys build a bigger motor, go to the Autocraft stuff, and it's much easier. Or Potter, you know, you put a big motor in the car and you don't have to run it near as hard. So let's look at this pass at speed and with the volume up, and you can listen to the engine on this car. My motors seem to have a different tone. I don't know, they have a unique tone. If you listen to the cars I work on and race, they sound more like a Honda than a Volkswagen, I don't know. So anyway, let's listen to this pass. Alright, gotta turn the volume down at this point because Gaden, he gets a little excited there and uses some words that we probably can't use on YouTube anymore. But anyway, that's what we're doing. We're sort of looking at these passes, going over some old data, and you know, looking at what the car was doing, and how the suspension is acting, what we can make better, and trying to find a little more ET, and trying to make the car better all the time, you know, with what we have, trying to optimize the parts. Obviously now the problem is the chassis here. You can see, again, we're got the car buried. I think that's an excellent picture though, right there, you know, yellow light on, car's already leaving, tires off the ground. So that's pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. All right, guys, I hope you gives you a little insight on how to digest a video, go over it and look at it, and download all the information. You can learn a lot from a 10-second pass. It's amazing how many times you can watch this and keep picking up little things, and those little things are what makes a car go fast. You know, every little thing you find, every little piece that you find, the more you work on it and refine it, the faster it will go, for sure. And I've had this car for quite some time now. It was my street car when I was a kid, and slowly progressed into this race car. I ended up cutting it up a little too much, and that's why I'm trying to build the new car. I wanted more of a, you know, original style car. So this is what we're working with. These are some of the parts we'll be using. We won't be using this engine. This will be the spare motor now, and we are going to try to use this transmission, the spring plates, some of the rear suspension components. So that's why we're looking at some of this and trying to break down what we need to do. So anyway, I hope everybody's having a great day out there. Get out there, work on your cars, make a video, and we'll see you the next time.